Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Let me go and set up this room real quick and then we can get started. Set up right here. That's good. Today is September 8th. Solid. I want to get you guys a Zoom link as well for you guys here in the premium. It's good. Get everything else set up here. It's good for the most part. I'm just finish setting this up right here. That's good. All right, I'm gonna start letting people into the room right now. So give me 1 second, guys. Let me finish setting this room up. Almost done. All right, cool. Everything looks pretty much solid. I'm gonna start letting everybody into the room. Hey, morning, Ben. How are we? Morning, Clyde. Morning, everybody. Get this link sent out to the rest of the people here in the premium group. Hey, Ree, good morning. All right, people are slowly making their way in, so I'm gonna give it some time for people to make their way in. Let me post the YouTube link for the other members here. All right, cool. Good. One last place over here. Market's opening about 7 minutes, so there's no rush, guys. Just gonna wait for everybody to make their way in. Once everyone's in the room, we can get started. Nice. Angela's locking about 1,079. You guys are killing it this morning. I just saw a bunch of profits being posted, so I'll go over that a little later once we take a breakout. Market's opening about 7 minutes. Once the market opens, we can start with our breakout and then move forward with the rest of the scalps. So we have about 100 people in the room right now. Let more people make their way in before I get started. Hey, Kenny, morning. Morning, Scott. Morning, Essa. Morning, Ray. Morning, Rav. Morning, Matt. Morning, Taryn. Morning, Abraham. Morning, Miles. Morning, Christopher. Morning, Maria. Morning, Brandy. Yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. We're midway through the week. It's crazy. It still feels like Monday to me, but it is halfway through the week already. Morning, Adrian. Yeah, just a reminder, this week was a holiday week, so it's been kind of slow overall. But I mean, for the most part, it's been a good week. We've had a lot of good trades yesterday. I only took one trade. You guys saw my profits, but a lot of you guys locked in some pretty massive profits overall. So, I mean, it's been a pretty good week so far, even with the holiday. Market's starting to pick up a little more as we get midway through, but we'll see what happens today. So let's see, I got everything all set up here. I think we're all good to go. Let me go and look through US 30 to identify the technical bias right now. So on the 1 hour over here, we have a bearish bias. The reason for it being bearish is that price is below the pivots, the trend meter is red. Looking over here on the 10-minute, same situation, price is below the pivots, the trend meter is red. These zones right here are the K2SR zones. I was looking for some possible snipe entries prior to market open, but you know, with the market still kind of slow, there hasn't been really much movement. Here on the 3-minute, same situation, price is below the pivots, the trend meter is red. It's also below the Asian low, so we might see a drop happen on market open. Looking over here on the 1 minute, same situation, price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red, and it's also below the Asia low. So we'll see what happens when the market opens. Right now we have a bearish bias for the technical analysis. Next up, we need to confirm the fundamental analysis. Right here on the futures data, it's down about 61 points pre-market. And lastly, the retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently 51% short, so there's not really a bias right now. It could really go either way. and we'll see what happens with the fundamentals and technicals. So it's going to be mainly based off the fundamentals today, because the technicals, while they are bearish, they're not very strong, right? It's kind of just right down the middle. It's not way down here. It's not way up here. So with that said, we're going to look at the fundamentals, see where the fundamentals are pushing, and then we're going to trade in that direction. So market's opening in about 5 minutes. Once we have market open, we can determine what the fundamentals are for this morning. The futures data is from this 24-hour data, so it's not really accurate. It's been back and forth since Asia session. So once market opens, we can see what the current bias will be. Hey, morning, Tim. Morning, Rafaro. Morning, Bobby. Morning, everybody. So yeah, hopefully you guys had a great week so far. I'm currently in profit. Only took one trade. It was a definite win for the breakout yesterday. Other than that, I haven't taken anything. So I'm taking this week a little easy because of the news. The last thing what you guys want to do is take unnecessary risk and risk losing any profit that that could have been avoided. So looking over here for this morning, we do have Canadian news at 10 o'clock, but I think that's about it. Actually 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock this morning, we have Canadian news, which is going to be the Bank of Canada rate statement. So this is going to be high impact. It might affect the U.S. market because Canada is it's a world power. It's not a small country. So it could affect U.S. We also have the JOLTS job openings at 7 o'clock as well. So that's going to be the only news event that we're really going to be looking at. We also have at 8 o'clock, the GBP monetary policy report hearings. This is possibly going to affect the market as well. And then lastly, the 10-year bond auction, but we're not going to be online at that point. I usually get off around 8 o'clock. So at this point, this isn't really going to affect us because we're not going to be trading at that time. Well, me personally. Again, at 10 o'clock, we have Fed member Williams speaking. So just keep in mind, when the Fed speaks, they directly affect the market. So just keep that in mind. If you guys decide to trade, it's going to be very risky. Market's opening in about 3 minutes. So we got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left before market open. Once the market opens, we can determine what the bias is and we can start looking for trades. So guys, let's get this started. Hey, morning, Barboy. All right, cool. Looks like all you guys are ready here. We have about 2 minutes till market open. Once market opens, we're going to look at the fundamentals over here. This is from yesterday, so this hasn't updated, and this is why we don't follow it until market opens. So like right here, you can see it was last updated on September 7, 2021. It's September 8 today. So this hasn't been updated since yesterday, which is why we look at the futures data, because this has been updated at 9:18, which is about 10 minutes ago. I can just refresh it. Yeah, so about 9:18, about 10 minutes ago. So we'll see when the market opens right here. Market is opening in about a minute and 20 seconds. So once the market opens, we can determine, what direction we plan on trading. Looks like it's going to be a sell, but who knows? We really don't know until we know, right? So. Oh, this is NASDAQ. This isn't even. Sorry, let me go back to this one over here. I wasn't even the right chart. All right, market is opening in about 40 seconds. So let's get ready for it. We're looking for a possible sell. So once we have that, we can hop in. All right, we got about 30 seconds left till market open. I'm gonna have it set up right here just in case. We're not necessarily looking for a definite sell yet. We need to wait for the fundamentals to confirm it. All right, market is opening in 15 seconds. So guys, just be ready, but don't hop in like just yet, right? Be patient. Be ready, but be patient. Keep that in mind. All right, market is officially open. So let's see if price spikes off this area and then comes right back down. Let me look at the fundamentals over here. Let me refresh this. Hasn't refreshed yet. Okay, so fundamentals are currently in the red, about 36 points. Not very much. Let me refresh this over here. Looking over here at the stock index, it's kind of right down the middle. There's not really much bias one way or the other. It's just at 35 points in the red. Looking at the futures data, it's now updated 63 points in the red. Looking at retail sentiment, it's currently 52% short. So I mean, we're looking for a possible sell here, but it's not very strong. So what we might look for here is we might look for a strong red candle. What might happen here is we might get a rejection off this and then a possible entry here for a sell. So if this candle right here closes, we can determine whether we want to take this trade or not. But we just want to make sure that there's little to no wick off the bottom side here. All right, so I wouldn't enter just yet, guys. I would wait because you can see right here, market's super volatile. It's kind of bouncing back and forth really quickly. So I wouldn't enter just yet because we don't really have a bias sale even on the fundamental side. The fundamentals are only down 41 points. Technically, this is going to be the breakout right here. So I'll be watching it. I might put like a sell stop there and then catch it as it comes back down, but I'm not going to enter right away because you can see how volatile the market is right now. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to take it. If I do take it, I'll let you guys know. But this is like super risky right here because you can see it spiked up over 300 pips within like a few seconds. So the last thing you want to do is enter, and then it spikes right back up, and then it comes right back down, and spikes right back up, and your blood pressure is going through the roof, and you're starting to get nervous, and you want to pull out of the trade. You don't want to be in a trade like that. You want to be in a trade where it's moving smoothly, and you know exactly where it's going. I think it's going to come down, but I'm personally going to wait for it to possibly come down here before I enter it. Let's see. It's just see how price is moving. It's moving way too fast. Normally it doesn't move this fast. It kind of moves pretty smoothly down or up. Right now it's kind of just going back and forth. So if you guys want to enter it, this is a breakout, but I think I'm going to hold off on it. I'm just going to look for scalps after. It's just moving way too fast for me. I might just catch the last move. If I see it drop down, I might just catch the last bit of it. So I'm going to just catch whatever I can catch, but just keep in mind that this is really risky because you guys can see how fast it moved within the last couple seconds or so. So yeah, take this at your own risk, guys. It's just, I only find it risky because of the way it's moving. I think it's going to come down, but personally, if you guys can't handle the risk and you guys get too nervous, you guys get scared, then just don't hop into it. But if you guys can handle the risk, then you guys can hop into it. Just understand that this is a risky trade. So just keep that in mind if you guys decide to take it. I'm currently taking it right now, but let me see if I could. Should have taken it at a different price point. See if I can set a TP here so I don't forget. Because this thing's moving super fast. So I might have to. So TP is going to be at 34981. 34981. All right, so I have my prop target set. If you guys want to take it, just keep in mind, just like I mentioned before, guys, it's an at your risk trade because it's very volatile. If your account's too small and you can't handle it, then don't take it. If you can, then take it. It already passed TP1, or I'm gonna set it up again there just in case I want to exit early or move my stop loss in profit. So let me just set this right here. Breakout TP1 250. And then the full TP is going to be down here. Because normally the market doesn't move as fast on open. Usually it takes some time for it to bounce around, but right now it's kind of just spiking back and forth. So like I mentioned, if you guys can't handle the risk, then don't take the trade. If you can handle it, then go ahead and take it. But it is risky. Because I don't want, because here's the problem, guys. I don't want to tell you guys to take a trade and then we get like a bunch of people complaining at the end saying that they shouldn't have taken it. And I gave you guys a warning beforehand. So I gave you guys the disclaimer that it's going to be a risky trade. It's going to be bouncing back and forth. And I didn't recommend that you guys take it unless you guys are able to handle the risk, right? So just keep that in mind. See what's going on with the market, man. It's like so volatile right now. I don't know why it's so volatile. Let me see if there's anything going on. It said the stock market or S&P's flat. I don't really see anything that's causing the market to spike like that. There's no news this morning. So yeah, there's nothing this morning. The Canadian news is at 7, so it hasn't even happened yet. But this is probably just a late reaction to the holiday week. So guys, if you guys take this trade, just keep in mind it's risky. Also, I'm probably going to be holding it like longer than normal because of the volatility. So I just don't want to get caught in it and then it ends up going up and it comes right back down. So technically this would be the stop loss right here. Where I'm probably going to hold it a little wider to like up here. Actually, I don't know. I might just pull out. Who knows? Actually, yeah. If I get stopped out right here, it's completely fine. I'm just gonna take the loss. Okay, I'm gonna take the loss, guys. Because the thing is, like I mentioned, this is a risky trade. Last thing I want to do is hold on to it, and then it ends up spiking back and forth. It ends up spiking, ends up spiking up, then it ends up spiking down, and then it goes too high where it goes past my slippage. So I'm currently still in the position right now. I actually didn't close it out yet, but if it pushes back up, it's gonna close it out. I just threw away all my profits from yesterday. I should have just listened to myself and didn't take it because it's just way too it's too volatile right now. Yeah, Hamidi said so true, Shawn, because you did say it's Risk Friday, and they cry like a baby. No, exactly. Yeah, if you guys understand the risk, then it's completely fine. Like for me, I took the risk. I took a loss right here, unfortunately, but it's all good. I mean, it happens. I understood the risk when I hopped into it, and I still hopped in, so that's my bad. Well, it's not really my bad because I understood the risk, so I'm okay with the loss today. But the market is, you can see how it's moving right now. The fundamentals here are completely red, but for whatever reason, it's still pushing up to the top side. And now it's pushing right back up right here now. So looking over here at the stock index, this is, let's see. I mean, it's more red, but it's kind of just right down the middle, right? It's kind of just going back and forth. So this is exactly why I pulled out right here, because I was going to hold on to it a little longer to here. I would have lost way more profit. So I pulled out right here, took a bit of a loss, but it's okay. It happens. And I already knew this was probably going to happen, but I still took it anyways. So it's all good because I understood the risk. Yeah. Um, yeah, Riga said, damn, what's happening? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. There's just so much volatility this morning, but there's no anything that's pushing price, back and forth. I'm here on CBC right now. There's not really anything that's causing volatility in the market. I probably should have just held out of it because I did talk about it from the beginning that I was going to be kind of risky. But I hopped in, I took the loss. It is what it is. So let's see. There's nothing here that's really causing price to spike around like that, but for whatever reason, it is spiking back and forth. Yeah. Now, Hamidi said the same thing. He said it's been doing that for weeks now. Fundamental says red, it'll go fungus, and it's moving. Yeah, it's not moving as smooth as it normally does. So it's okay. But yeah, looking at this right here, you guys can see how it's moving. It's moving like back and forth pretty heavily. So I would just wait for it. Hopefully you guys can take the trade. Like I mentioned before in the beginning, I was advising that you guys don't take the trade. What we'll do next is we'll look for some scalps because we can probably just make that right back. If we have like 2 3-minute scalps or maybe a couple 1 minute and then a bunch of 3-minute scalps over here. There just isn't really a direction. So the problem with this trade here is generally retail bias is like one-sided. Right now it's at 51%. Usually it's like 60 or 70% one direction or the other. So we can trade in that direction. But for this right here, it's not really moving directional, right? It's kind of just right down the middle. It's 51%. So this can easily, it can easily go either way. Also looking at the fundamentals over here for the daily, it's only at like 1 point in the green or 2 points in the green. It's not really one-sided. Generally, we want to trade when it's 100 points in the green or 100 points in the red. And that just isn't viable right now. It's really weird because usually there's like direction that's been set in the morning. I don't know if it's because of the holiday week, because of the COVID news, but there's nothing really here on the calendar that's causing price to look like that. There's no U.S. news this morning. There was Euro news, Australia news at 1, European news at 2, and they're all light news. Nothing yesterday, and then now today we have Canadian news at 7, but it's not even 7 yet. So we'll see, but it's fine. We're gonna take some scalps to minimize that loss that I took earlier. It wasn't a full loss because I got out prior to it pushing up even higher. Let me see where I ended up with that one. Abraham said crypto news doesn't affect it. No, not really. I mean, crypto news will affect the market, but it doesn't necessarily affect it directly. So I don't think because of like what's going on with the cryptos that it's affecting US 30. It's just it was a long holiday. Generally, after a long holiday, it might have a late reaction. Like people will start coming to the market a day later, and that might be what's happening here. Because what happens is the market was closed on Monday. People generally they come right back on Tuesday. If they don't come back on Tuesday, come back on Wednesday. And that's probably why we see a lot of volatility right here. Because this isn't a normal move, right? So right here, you can see market open here at 6:30. And I'll show you the volatility right here. From 6:30 to like in about 9 minutes, price moved up about 1,500 pips. If you look at price yesterday, so if you go to yesterday over here at 6, well, no, this isn't going to count because this was off the news. If you go to the news, the price from the week before, so here on the 5th, right? If you look at how price moved on the 5th from 6:30 to, so market opened here at 6:30. So from 6:30, price only moved like about 400 or 500 pips, right? It only moves a little bit. It moves about 300 to 600 pips. But today, this morning, moved 1,500 pips. So you guys can see it moved double, if not triple, in movement for this morning. And you can see the big wicks over here. You can tell that there's not really much of a direction, right? No direction right there. No direction right here. This can easily just come right back down. The only reason I kind of felt a little comfortable about this position was because when market opened right here, it was below the Asia and New York low. So I thought I was going to keep dropping. However, it just reversed completely as soon as I entered the trade, which happens sometimes. It's not something that you can really predict. You know, sometimes price will just do that, but it's okay. I mean, we're in profit heavily for the entire week, month, and for the year so far. So it happens. You know, you have a loss here and there. The main thing is that you guys don't let that bog you down, because a lot of people will take a loss and then they'll get bogged down, and then they can't take any more trades because they get scared to take any other following trades after that. There's a possible 3-minute scalp right here, but I'm not going to take it. Reason for that is because we don't even have a bias here. I'm looking for a bias. It looked like it was going to be a sell bias because it was down about like 70 points. Now it's up 43 points. Price is kind of just going back and forth. I generally want it to be above 100 points or negative 100 points. If you see here, it's kind of right down the middle. It's like half red, half green, but it's starting to shift to the green side right here. So we're just going to, you know, we're also just going to break. We're going to wait for this to play out. There just isn't anything for us to look at because right now it's up 43 points, but you can see right there, it's kind of shifting, right? It goes from 46 points to like 17 points. You can see how much price is moving right here. It's not really stable at this point. Also, I think the main thing here that's really confusing us is the retail sentiment, because there isn't enough retail traders on one side or the other. It was short, now it's long. It was 51% short, now it's 51% long. It's kind of just going back and forth. So today just might be a risky day in general to trade. If that becomes the case and there isn't no direction that's set, then we'll probably just sit out for the rest of the day. Well, I'll sit out the rest of the day and I'll come back tomorrow. Because the thing is, if you guys keep trading when it's risky, you might be risking more than you need to, and you can, you know, eat a couple more losses instead of just conserving your capital for a better trading day. Because today the market's just back and forth. Let's see if price closes above here. Even if price closes above here, I'm probably not going to take it. I'll follow it for the 3-minute strategy. So I'll just put the strategy over here for the 3-minute for whoever is wondering, you know, what strategy we're looking at over here. This is the one that we're looking at on the 3-minute. And if we do, we'd have an entry right there because this is a valid buy. Same with the 1-minute over here. There was a valid, no, that wasn't a valid buy. We'll also be looking for one over here as well. But there's nothing available there. So here's a 3-minute. There's about 40 seconds left on this candle right here. I'm tempted to enter into it. I might enter into it, but we'll see. This is the Snipe Strategy. If it closes above here, I might, but here's the problem. This candle right here is too big. So what I'm worried is that if I enter this trade right here, it's going to come back to retrace. Because that's generally what happens. If it's too big, it comes down, retraces, and then it'll come back up, or it'll continue pushing it down even further. But we'll see. I'll mark it up for you guys for whoever does want to take it, but I'm probably not going to take it yet. I'll probably take the next one. I'll let it push up. I'll let it retrace, and then I'll catch it as it goes right back up, if that becomes the case. But like I mentioned, today is risky. No entry there. Reason for no entry is because the first requirement requires a valid K² momentum signal. There's no momentum signal right here. So we skip this one right here and move on to the next one. Rika's asked if I'm looking for shorts. No, I'm not looking for any shorts. I'm looking for, well, I don't really have a direction right now, Rika. I'm looking for a possible buy because right now the fundamentals are bullish. So it's up 55 points. It's up 71 points, actually. The stock index right here is mostly green. You can see right here, it's mostly green as it has changed from red to green. Retail sentiment, I mean, we're not really going to use this today because it's not one-sided at all. It's only at 51%. So this is going to be useless to us. The main things we're going to be looking at is fundamentals and technicals over here. So I'm actually looking for some buys right now. Reason for that is because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green. So bias has changed. Bias is not short anymore. It's now long. So you can see from the 10-minute price is above the pivots, trend meter is green. 3-minute price is above the pivots, trend meter is green. 1 minute over here, price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So that's what I'm looking for here, possible buy. But, you know, just like I mentioned, we're not sure if it's going to keep pushing up. If this goes up above 100 points, then my bias will be stronger for the buy. However, right now it's only up 70 points. So it's getting close to there, but you can see it's starting to weaken, right? It's from 69 points right here, and now it goes down to 60 points. So you can see prices kind of going up and down. It's going back and forth. When it's above 100, it'll keep pushing up. If it's below 100, it'll keep pushing down. But right now, there just isn't any bias. It's kind of weird for the market. You would expect it to be very high bias one way or the other because this is such a big push up. It's almost 2,000 pips, which is unheard of for US 30 during the summer. So looking at this right here, let me see if there's anything else. Abraham said the Zoom is frozen. Guys, are you guys having any issues with the Zoom? Mine seems like it's working fine, but I'm not sure if it's just me or if it's just Abraham. Everyone said it's okay, Abraham. It might just be your computer. Just try to refresh it. Yeah, you can try logging in, logging back off. Jalon said, look at the 4-hour. Looks like people bought the dip. So let's check that real quick. Let me go over here on the, actually I can go over here to the 1 hour. So here's the 4-hour chart right here. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people bought this right here. It dipped down and it dipped down. You have a huge wick on the bottom right here. So yeah, just like Jalon said, it looks like a lot of people bought the dip. However, right here on the 4-hour, it's still pretty bearish, right? What could happen here is price can fake people out. They can just come up slightly. It's currently at the pivot right now. It can bounce off the pivot and then come right back down. But I mean, who knows, right? We really don't know what's going to happen yet until that actually happens. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, on the 10 minutes, a huge wick right here too. So you can see prices attempting to come right back down. I mean, it looks like it's starting to fake people out. So right here, you can see price rejected off the Asia high, which is this purple line right here. So price rejected off this point, price rejected off this point, and it can come right back down. But I mean, that might not be the case. What might happen here is price can also reject off this zone right here and come right back up. So as you can see, price is very indecisive. It's not really it's a bit you know, it's a bit confusing as to like where price is going because the fundamentals over here aren't really one-sided. They're kind of just down the middle. It's only up 42 points or 41 points. Unless it goes above 100 or below 100, that's when you'll have a stronger bias. Also, the retail sentiment. We usually use all of these together, but you know, we can't use them right now because there's nothing here on retail sentiments right down the middle. So all we can look at as a fundamentals, we're just basically waiting for this to confirm either a bullish bias or a bearish bias. Right now, there's no confirmation. It's right down the middle. Looking over here at the stock index, it's like right down the middle as well. You can see there's more green stocks, but there's also a lot of red stocks. There's just a few more green stocks. That's why it's up 41 points because it's only 26 points now. So price is coming right back down. There you go. It's projecting off the Asia high over here, and it's coming right back down. So, you know, if this doesn't scream manipulation to you guys, I don't know what does, because there just isn't any direction. Generally, there's a direction in the morning because market opened at 6:30. It's only been, what is it, 20 minutes so far. Usually the first 20 to 30 minutes, there's like huge push to one direction, but right now it's pushed up, it's come right back down. And then who knows, this can come right back down or it can come right back up. So what I recommend is you guys just sit out the market and wait for direction to be set. Because the last thing you want to do is enter a sell here because you think it's coming right back down, and then it shoots right back up, or vice versa. You guys enter a buy here because you think it's going to come right back up, and then it completely reverses down to where it was originally. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark up where market open so that you guys can see where the middle point is. So 6:30 was right over here. Okay, so market open right over here. So one of two things can happen, guys. Price currently pushed up right here, and then this looks like a bit of a fake out, right? Price came up, faked out, and now it's coming right back down. So what price can possibly do is price will either do this. It'll either come back down to where price opened. This is where price opened. And when price comes back down, price can either come right back up or it'll break through it and continue down further. So there's a couple different scenarios, or price can just bounce off this area too. It can bounce off the pivot and then come right back up from here. Right? But like I mentioned, you guys really don't know what's going to happen until it happens, because price can do a couple of different things. It can either bounce off here, come back up, or it can come back down here. And then once it reaches the opening point, it can either bounce back up to the top side or break through and come back further down. So what I recommend is you guys just wait for it. Don't just like hop into it, because the last thing you want to do is hop in and then it goes the opposite way. Let's see. Let me scroll up real quick. Let me see what else I missed over here. Yeah, Shane said, yeah, I'm going to sit out today. Have a great and good luck to everyone. Yeah, no, exactly. So this is, oh, you can see right here. So the same exact area where I drew a circle right here, right? So I said price could come down here, bounce off this pivot and come right back up, or it can come right back down. There's a bunch of different scenarios. And this is why I don't hop into a trade just yet, because the thing is, you don't know exactly where it's going. The thing is, if you hop in right away, you can get caught on the opposite side, right? So you want to wait for that confirmation. Like for me, for example, I'll be waiting for it to come right back up, and then I can take that buy. Last thing you want to do is enter a sell because you think it's coming down and then it reverses on you, or you enter a buy here and it comes right back down. Because a lot of things can happen right here. There's no bias that's been set. Generally, the fundamentals are one-sided, but right now it's kind of just right down the middle. It's still 18 points in the green, but it's not like we usually like trading when it's like very red. So if the stocks are like up to down here all red, we'll take sells. Vice versa, if the stocks are all green from up here, we'll take buys. Right now they're right down the middle. So there's really no direction. It's just it's right down the middle, but even though it's down the middle, price isn't really going in the middle, right? Because if price is right here and it's kind of just going down the middle, you'd expect price to just consolidate, right? You're not expecting it to go up or down, but price is obviously going up or down right here because this is a big move. You know, it's gone up. Let's see, it shot up about 2,000 pips, and then now from this top side right here, it's now coming right back down about 1,000 pips. So that's a lot of volatility for a random day, like for a random Wednesday with no news. If there was news today, it makes sense. Or if there was some sort of event going on in the world, like COVID or something, it would make sense. But right now there's nothing. It's a random Wednesday with nothing really causing price to go one way or the other. So I'll keep watching and I'll see if there's any other entries here. Otherwise, I guess I could answer some questions. So let me go down the Zoom real quick and I'll see if there's any questions here that I missed. And then I'll go over to the YouTube to see if there's anything else that I missed over there. What's up, Marcus? Marcus said, good morning, Shawn. What's them blue and red lines called again? Which ones are you talking about, Marcus? I don't see any blue lines on my chart, so I'm not sure which one are you referring to. Are you referring to the let's see, blue and red lines? Yeah, Mark, I'm trying to see what are you referring to? Are you talking about these arrows here? Because this is the only blue thing I could see, unless you're talking about the trend meter down here. If you're talking about the trend meter, this is the K² trend meter down here. If it's green, this means that the trend is up. Obviously, you can see when it's green right here, price is going up, vice versa. So when it's red down here, price is going down. If it's blue, that means that price is indecisive and it's just consolidating. So right here, you can see price is going sideways and it's blue. You can see right here, it's red down here, price is going down, vice versa. When price is going up, it's green down there. So I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to, Marcus, but this would be the trend meter down here. They're not necessarily lines. They're just, it's just a meter. It changes colors as the trend changes. And I have this all set to the 1 minute. Let me scroll down a little further, see what else I'm missing. Christopher is asking, can you draw liquidity zones? There's no liquidity zones, Christopher. There's no bias. In order for there to be liquidity zones, there has to be a bias one way or the other, but right now it's 51%. So in order for us to have liquidity zones, this would need to be like 70% short. And then if it's 71% short and then price continues to drop down, we can draw liquidity zones. But currently right now, there's no areas of liquidity because price is just going up and down. It's only when it's moving directional, you know, one way or the other. So Yeah, unfortunately, there's none. I mean, that would be nice, right, Christopher? It'd be nice if we could have those, and then we can just catch it as price continues to push up in the direction that we think it's going to go to. But currently, right now, even fundamentals, like in order for us to draw out liquidity zones, we need fundamentals to be one way, and then we need market sentiment to be the opposite way. Because if that's the case, that just means that it's a retracement or some sort of pullback, and we're going to catch it as it goes in the proper direction. But right now, there is no proper direction. It's up 18 points, which is really weird because you'd expect it. If price was pushing up 2,000 pips like this, like I'll even just draw the price range. If price shot up 2,000 pips like this, wouldn't you expect the bias to be very bullish, right? You'd expect this to be like up 100 points, maybe 200 points, maybe 300 points, right? Like yesterday, price was down 200 points, and that's why we were able to make so much profit off it because price just kept dropping, dropping, dropping. So if you guys remember yesterday, let me show you guys real quick. So yesterday we were able to take sells, no problem. Like looking at this over here, from 6:30 until like 8 until I got off the live session. So from this whole area right here, let me show you guys. So 6:30 right here, market open, and we traded until 8, right here. So all the profits that you guys saw yesterday, we took a bunch of sells right here because it was so easy. You just take the sell and then it just keeps going one direction because the fundamentals here were down like 238 points. So it was easy to trade in that direction. Right now, price is only up 16 points, but it's going back and forth. So in order for us to have the possible entry, we would need it to be one way or the other. But right now, there's currently no bias. Let me see. C-Suit said there's an entry on the 1 minute. Let me go over here real quick. Yeah, possible entry right here on the 1 minute. However, the reason why I might be wary to take this trade is because it's really close to the London high right here. So if you were to take this trade, I'll mark it up. If it closes right there, I'll mark it up. However, I'm probably not going to take it myself, and it's going to be an at your risk trade. I'm not going to take it myself because the problem with this right here is that price can bounce off this London high or this Asia high. And you guys can see, so earlier this, like a few minutes ago, this is only like, 3 or 4 minutes ago, I drew this line right here and I marked these arrows, right? I said price can bounce off this point and shoot right back up, or it can break through it and come right back down. Price bounced exactly off the pivot and now it came right back up to where we first anticipated. So this was scenario number 1. And it's playing out exactly like I mentioned, right? Because the thing is, you could have taken the sell here and you could have got burned, right? Or you could have taken the buy here and you could have made some profit. So you could be on the opposite spectrums, but for me, I like to be 100% sure before I take the trade. I don't like having so many scenarios available where we can easily get caught in a trade and not be comfortable about it. I want to be comfortable about all the trades that I take, and I don't want to be nervous or scared or like worried to take out the trade because, that's how a lot of people lose at trading. They get nervous. They just don't have that trade psychology to hold on to the trade when they need to. Nice. So Paul did take the buy right here. I'm looking over here at the Zoom. Paul said he took a quick buy right there. He took it as a bounce and he hopped in and he made a quick little profit right here. So definitely great work right there, Paul. See, and this is why it's important that you guys understand what I'm explaining to you guys, because if you guys catch these little hints that I'm giving you guys can take the trade. If you know what you're doing, you can take the trade, you can make a quick profit, and then you can pull out, wait for the next one. I kind of wish I took that trade there too, Paul, because I needed to recover from the breakout loss earlier. But it's okay. If I don't take any more trades today, it's all good because I know tomorrow I'll make it right back. We haven't had a loss in, I can't even remember how long. Let's see. So I had a loss on Friday, but that was an accidental trade. That was one that we weren't supposed to take, but I accidentally took it. But other than that, other our official trades, it's been a really long time since we've had any losses from there. So let me just go over here real quick and see what else we're missing. All right, so let me scroll over here real quick and see what else I missed. Sorry guys, we got let me see if I missed anything over here. Yeah, Charlie said one possible 1 minute scalp. I'm looking for that too, Charlie. I'm just waiting for it to possibly close. We haven't had the closure yet, so there's no entry that's available at this time. Henry's asking if I look at volume at all. No, I don't look at volume at all. You don't need to look at volume because volume's high in the morning. It's kind of pointless, Henry, because you're trading when the volume's highest. So volume isn't necessary for trading when you already know volume is going to be highest. Volume is highest from like 6 to 8. That's why I trade from 6:30 to 8. It's the only time I trade. There's really it's not necessary because if you look at the chart here, I mean, you can just by looking at it, you can see where all the volume is. Volume's from 6:30 right here, market open until 8 o'clock. You can see from this point, volume is very low, and I don't trade during this time, so it's not really necessary. Let's see if I missed anything else. Paul said, thing is, I woke up late today, noticed you took a loss on the breakout. Glad I didn't take it with you or anyone else. Yeah, no, exactly. And that's why I was, so yeah, you woke up late, Paul. And this morning I was also warning everybody that not to take it. I still took it myself. I shouldn't have taken it. You know, I should have just listened to my own advice, but it just looked so good because it was below the Asia low over here. And I thought it was going to keep dropping, but it ended up reversing completely. The fundamentals were red. Everything was pretty much red. And all of a sudden it just reversed completely. So here's a 1 minute scalp right here. I'm not going to take it, but I'll mark it up for you guys for whoever does want to take it. I don't recommend you guys take it because like I mentioned, it is going to be very risky, but I'll just mark it up right here for whoever wants to take it or whoever is taking it, right? Just like I mentioned earlier, today's a very risky day to be trading, so I don't really recommend anyone, unless you really want to, or unless you guys are taking a smaller lot size, then it's cool. You know, hit full TP already, so I should have taken it too, but it's all good. I understood the risk off that, so that's why I didn't take it. So I think Charlie, you were waiting for this, right? I'm not sure if you caught it. I didn't take the trade, unfortunately. Let me see. Nice. Paul took it too. So Paul made another quick one, 300 off that. Abraham caught it. So a lot of you guys did catch the trade here. I'm glad that you guys did catch it. I didn't catch it myself, but it's okay. You know, if I don't feel comfortable about a trade, I don't take it. I'll mark it up for you guys, but if I don't feel comfortable about it, I won't take it. So let me just send you guys a little update in the group over here for whoever did catch it, because it looks like a lot of you guys did. All right, so here's the little update for that. And I'll look at the post over here. So it looks like a couple of you guys did make some profit off it. Angela made some profit this morning. She took the buy for the Dow 30, made about 1,493. Nice work, Angela. Chai over here as well. Chai made about 306. He took a sell and he took a buy. So he actually took the sell that we took and he pulled out in profit, and then he took the buy in the opposite direction. She made some profit that way too. So great work right there, Chai. Other than that, let's see, Patrick over here too. So Patrick did take the loss off of the sell right there, but he did make, or actually he made, looks like Patrick took a buy, a sell here. He made some profit off it. And then he took another sell this morning, took that loss that we took this morning, and then he took the buy and he made 10,000 off that. So he's in profit 11,825 from this morning. So if you guys understand what you guys are doing, you guys can easily make profit off this. And here's Charlie. You saw Charlie in the Zoom. Charlie's the one that was mentioning he was looking for the buy there. He's minimizing his losses, right? So he had a loss from the sell earlier, but then he took some buys here and he's minimizing his losses as he continues to go on. Abraham over here as well. Abraham took the sell. He actually pulled out early. So it looks like Abraham took the sell that we took earlier. He pulled out early, made some profit, and he took the buy here for another small profit. So he's up $59 for this day. So yeah, like Abraham said, you said it was risky, kept it small and closed quick. So that's really smart of you, Abraham. I probably should have done the same thing when I was in profit, but it's okay. You know, it happens. Sometimes I just got to eat the loss and then move on to the next trade. So other than that, there goes the 1 minute. And here, let me just show you guys what we were looking for here. For you guys who are new here. So for you guys who are new, let me just put this over here real quick. So for you guys here that are new, this is what we were looking for off the 1 minute. And this is what everyone was waiting for. So right here, we were looking for a valid K2 momentum signal. Right here was a valid buy signal. It's a valid signal because it's a buy signal with a green momentum candle. Second, we need to confirm that price is above the pivots for a buy. Right here, price is above the pivots 3 and 4. So with that said, we can enter on the open of the falling candle. So right here, we enter a buy, and then went straight to CP. That's exactly this strategy right here that's been lined up all morning. So definitely great work to whoever caught that profit. I didn't catch it, unfortunately, but it's all good. I like to see that you guys still profited some pretty nice off that. So Lester locked in about 1,041, all wins, no losses. It looks like Lester listened this morning. He didn't take the sell that we took or that I took. And then he waited for scalps and he caught that real quick right there. So definitely great work there, Lester. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Let's see. David's asking, can you show how to set up a momentum alert? Yeah, so to set up the momentum alert, David, you just click on this right here, alert. Make sure that you have, so here's one thing that you got to keep on your chart. Make sure that you have the K2 momentum indicator. Yours is either going to be called K2TS, which is the old one. It's just renamed to K2 momentum. So if you have the old one, just click on alert right here, have this set to US 30, or no, sorry, have it set to K2TS or K2 momentum, whichever one that you have. It's the same indicator, it's just a different name. So either K2TS or K2 momentum, and then right here, change this to K2 signal fired, so you'll get both buy and sell signals. And then depending on when you want to be alerted, you can do it once per bar. This will give you an alert if it shows up, but if it disappears, it'll still give you the alert. If you just want it when it closes, then once per bar close. And then down here, you can change this to K2 momentum 1 minute signal, like something like that, if you're doing the 1 minute, and that's how you'll set it up. So if you set this up right here, this will be for the 1 minute. If you want to set it for the 3 minute, do the same thing. Go to alert, go to K2TS or K2 momentum, change this to K2 signal fired, choose whichever option you want, and then you can change the name down here to K2 momentum 3 minute signal, and that'll give you the alerts. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. There's no other entries available at this time. That was the only one that was available right now. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, no problem, David. Let's see what else we got over here. All right, let me go to the YouTube real quick. There's a couple questions over here. So Roosevelt's asking, hey Shawn, what's up, man? It's been a while since I took a break from Forex, focused on selling panels. I'm getting back into K2 grind. You guys are inspiration. No, definitely. I'm glad to see you here, Roosevelt. It's been a while. I haven't seen you here for a while either. But it's always good to see old faces come back to K2. Let's see. Roosevelt's question is, and a question: What's the broker to demo trade that stimulates FTMO format the most? You can do a trial on FTMO, Roosevelt. So if you go on the FTMO website, they have a trial that's available that you can use, and that's going to be exactly the same thing. Damn John is asking, do you still take the daily 10-minute US 30 trade at open? No, we don't. I mean, you can technically take it, but I'm not sure if you understand how the market moves, John, like during the summer. The volatility is really low. So like I was mentioning before, so if you go over here, I'll just show you exactly what I'm talking about. So right here on the 10-minute, I'll go on a clean chart. So you can still take it, but the thing is, it's not going to be a daily entry anymore because price doesn't really move like that. So let's see. Let me see if I can find an example of like yesterday. So yesterday was a 7. Yeah, because we don't for that trade. If that trade doesn't don't trade, take it. But you can. Let me just go to like like last week. So last week was like the 6. Because if you understand how like the market moves during seasons, you'll understand like why we don't take it because there's not enough volatility. That was like it was a 1,500 pip move, but a lot of times price doesn't even move that much. So like for example, here on the not the 6th, that was a holiday, on the 5th. So on the 5th over here, I think that was the. Sorry, I'm gonna try to check my dates. The 3rd. Okay, sorry. So let me go to the 3rd over here. So September 3rd was Friday. Okay, so this is the 3rd over here. So as you can see from right here, this would possibly be the entry, but you can see how price moves. You're going for a 15. Let me share real quick. You're going for a 1,500 pip move. So if you're looking for a 1,500 pip move, you're not going to get it by market close. Like for example, right here, in order for you to finish this trade, you would need this much of a move, right? Price doesn't even get anywhere near that. Down here as well, if you're going for a sell, well, I mean, obviously you'd be going for a sell. If you're going for a sell, you wouldn't get anywhere near that by market close. This is already the following week. Going over here on Thursday, the day before that. So let's see, that was the 3rd. This is the 2nd. Yeah, okay, so this right here, this would have been the entry right here. And you're taking the buy. So you can see right here, this is where you need to go to hit your TP. You wouldn't even hit this for, I mean, it would eventually hit, like you would hit your TP, but this thing would take, let me just, I'll mark this up from here using a long tool. So the strategy still works. It's just, you're just never going to hit your profit target. It's an intraday strategy. So here's the thing: you would take this trade here, and it would eventually hit your TP, but it's not an intraday strategy. It's meant to be intraday because in the winter, fall, spring, the price actually moves. But right here, you'll be holding this trade for, well over 24 hours. You're holding it for about 34 hours, about 34, 35 hours to hit your TP. So this is the reason why we don't apply that during the summer, because summer is a slow session. If you apply this during the winter, like for example, we apply this like in January, right? If I go all the way back to January over here, I'm just going to show you an example of like when it does work, because the market changes in season. So this is all summer right here. Market's too slow. It doesn't really move. But if you go over here to like January, where we apply it, I mean, we're probably going to start applying it soon in September already. So markets start to pick up. But if you go to like January, or not even January, like February, you can see that it actually, like price is actually moving, where you can take those type of moves. Here, let's go to like a random day like March or something, where there's actual movement in the market. But I don't want to take it where it's like gapping. Let's see. So I'm just trying to find like a day where there's actual movement in the market, not one where it's just like super slow. So this is March. I mean, we should probably go back to like February before it got like warm, because the market moves in season. In summer, it's the slowest season. Fall, spring, fall, winter, spring is going to be the quickest time. So this is as far as we can go right here. And let me see if I can find like an example here where we would have taken the trade. So looking at this right here, actually that's at 6:30. So there would be no entry right here, because this is at 6:30. Wait for the one after it. This is invalid. We wouldn't have taken this right here, because this is already Asia session. Looking at this over here, 6 o'clock. Sorry guys, the dates here are kind of like all over the place. So looking at this is 5:30. There's another example right here. But this is kind of close because it's at 10. But you can see right here how price actually moves, right? So from right here, this is on February 17. You can see that it pushes up to where it's supposed to go, 1,500 pips, right? This will happen within a couple hours. So from right here, this is market open at 6:30. We take the first valid signal, and then you hit your TP within 6 or 7 hours, right? Compared to today, if you're taking it right now, you're going to hold it for like 30 hours or so. So you're never going to hit it. In the winter, summer, yeah, I mean, the winter, spring, fall, we'll be taking the trades, but right now in the summer, we're not taking it because volatility is too low. Obviously, you can see right here, now price is kind of just sideways and it's not really moving. So you can technically take it if you want, John, but if you do take it, it's going to take a long time for it to actually hit. Yeah, exactly, John. It's just the way that the market moves. The market's different. It's different from summer, and then it's different from fall, winter, spring. But we'll probably start taking it within the next couple of weeks or so once the market starts to pick up. Today's just a weird day. It's kind of just going back and forth. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. All right, so let's see. Your other question over here is, okay, so that answers your question there. Beating you, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Beating you said people bought when your strat told them to sell. I'm not sure where you got that from. The strat said to buy over here for this. This is the strategy right here. It says when there's a valid K2 momentum for right here, we have a valid buy, and people would have taken the buy there. If you took the sell here, that would have been okay too, because right here there's a sell below it. So like for example here, if you were looking at this here, strategy right here says confirm a valid K2 momentum signal. Right here is a valid sell. Confirm prices below pivots. These two lines are the pivots. That's a valid sell. You enter right here. We have it set right there. You let it run. And there you go, full TP. So, I mean, the strategy said to sell here. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about beating, because this one right here would have been a sell, and this one right here would have been a buy. So I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. All right, let me scroll down real quick and see. Yeah, Neptune said it's coming down. It's coming down. Facts, patience. Yeah, no, exactly. So this is what I was just saying before, guys. This is why I recommend that you guys just hold off on entering trades, because price isn't really directional, right? Generally from like 6:30 to 8, price is directional. Right here, it's kind of just going back and forth. And I can show you an example here of what I mean by that. So like if we go back to like the previous days, so we'll go back to like Thursday or something like that, or even Friday. So if you go to, I'm just trying to look for like a smoother day where price was actually moving smoothly. So if we go back over here to like say the 5th, so from 6:30, and I'll mark it up right here, from, that's Sunday. So the 3rd, yeah, I think the 3rd was Friday. So you guys can see from, okay, so like, let's mark it up right here. From 6:30 to 8, or no, this day was a weird day too. So you can see right here from 6:30 to 8, I think this was Thursday or Friday. This, like the past couple of weeks, it's just been kind of weird. I don't know why the market's been moving like this, but generally it has a direction, right? So like right here, it had a fake out initially, and then it continued going up. This is just how the market normally moves. There's usually a direction when it goes one way or the other, but these past couple of weeks have just been kind of unusual. Like, so for like, that was on the 3rd. If we go to the 2nd over here, and I'll take off these things off the chart so that you guys can see what I'm referring to. So here on the 2nd, we'll go from like 6:30 to 8. Generally from 6:30 to 8, price is supposed to go directional one way or the other. Okay, so like from right here. But you can see from like the past couple of weeks, there's just been a lot of, oh, you know why? Because last week was NFP. So that's why the market was moving like this, kind of funky. So let me just go to a regular week. Let me go prior to September 1st. Let's go to like the last week of August. Okay, so last week of August right here. Okay, so this is actually a better example. Or actually not really, because it's kind of just going back and forth. Well, if you guys have been with me for a while, you guys have seen how I've mentioned how price goes directional from 6 to 8. This is why I only trade from 6:30 to 8. So from 6:30 to 8, you can see price, the overall direction is bullish. We had a fake out right here as price came down, but then it corrected back to where it was supposed to go, right? It was bullish right here. So generally, this is why I only trade from 6:30 to 8, because there's direction during that time. Currently today, there's just no direction. But if you guys look at like everything else, previous data, and that's the only way I know this is because I've been trading US 30 every day for the past 3 years now. So I understand how it moves in the morning. That's why I only trade from 6:30 to 8. So like right here, 6:30 till 8. You can see that the direction right here, well, I mean, this is what's been happening lately. It goes one direction and then it reverses the other way. And it's just been like this for the past couple of weeks. But generally, it's supposed to be just going one directional. So like sometimes if price is moving like this, I just take the breakout, or I take a couple of scalps and then I just stop trading from there. But if you guys look over here, let me go over here to like, I'm trying to find a good day where price is actually moving how it's supposed to. Okay, like right here maybe. So this was on August 27, I think a week or 2 weeks ago. So from 6:30 right here, this is generally how price is supposed to move. From 6:30 to 8, this is the only time I trade. I trade from 6:30 to 8 because price is directional. When there's no manipulation in the market, price is just going how it's supposed to. You can see right here, market opened at 6:30 and then it just goes straight up, right? This is normally how it's supposed to move. And then I usually log off by 8. From 8 to 10, there's a consolidation phase, right? So I'll go over here, I'll mark up from 8 to 10. There's a consolidation phase. So I trade here from 6:30 to 8. It's directional, right? We just take a bunch of buys here. We make a lot of profit. I call it a day. Right here from 8 to 10, I usually take a break or I just stop trading because price consolidates. From 10 to 12, this is where price starts to consolidate into a reversal, because this is what we call the mid-market reversal. So price comes up, or you can see right here, price is bullish, consolidates, and then from 10 to 12, price starts to go the opposite direction. On a normal day, this is how price generally moves. There's the directional push, consolidation, mid-market reversal. That's generally how the market moves. And that's why I only trade during this time from 6:30 to 8. A lot of people always ask me, why do I only trade during that time? Because that's the easiest time to trade. Price is usually moving directional during that time. And I'll see if I can find another example here for when price is moving directional. Again, right here, same situation. And I'm very selective about my trades. You guys have seen how I trade. I only take trades that I'm like almost guaranteed are going to go in that direction. So like, for example, again, right here, it's the same exact thing, same pattern. When price is not being manipulated and price is just going directional, right? From 6:30 to 8, look where price goes. It goes down, right? Because it's directional from 6:30 to 8. You know, if we just take a bunch of sells here, we have a bunch of profit from 8 to 10, price just consolidates. This is why when I get off the session, I always tell you guys, if you guys don't have to trade, don't trade. It's not necessary. But if you guys want to trade, trade at your own risk. Because right here, you can see same exact pattern. Directional, consolidation, from 10 to 12, reversal. It happens almost every time. It's just, you know, if you trade something long enough at the same time every single day, you'll start to see these same patterns. And then there you go. So it's like directional, consolidation, and then directional again from 10 to 12. This is why I usually take a break from like 8 to 10. And then if I want to take a last minute trade before market close, I'll hop in from like 10 to 12 once I have the direction. So I usually trade from here, and I'll take like one last minute trade from here sometimes if I see something good. And then I usually just sit out, I wait for the next day over here, and I do the same exact thing. So just, you know, something to keep in mind if you guys are wondering, you know, when you guys should trade, when's the best time to trade. For me personally, you know, I trade during 6 to 8, and I make a lot of profit from here. I make a lot of profit. I call it a day. I do the same thing every single day. But like looking at current price right now for US 30, you can see I'll mark up 6:30 to 8 right here. Price isn't really directional at all. It was partially directional, and then it's doing the same thing it's been doing, you know, the entire week so far. I mean, for the past couple of months, it goes up directional, and then full on reversal right here. So what might happen here from 6 to 8 is price might just come right back down. And then from 8 to 10, or actually the Fed's speaking today. So one thing to keep in mind right here is that there is going to be news this morning at 10 o'clock. So check US news. Today is Wednesday. Jobs. So this might have been what caused, or I don't know if I would necessarily say this is what caused price to move super directional like that. Why is this? Sorry, it's not set to my time. There we go. All right, so at 7 o'clock right here, the news was positive for US. So I guess around 7. I mean, this is where it's kind of weird because price was positive. It was positive right here, but price is actually coming down. So because of the good news, you'd expect price to go up, and now you can see prices being manipulated because even though the good news happened, it still dropped right here because the news event happened at 7 right here. So news event happened at 7. It was good news. You'd expect it to keep going up, but it goes complete opposite right there. And this is why I don't trade news, because news is like a time where price gets highly manipulated. Here, let me see if there's anything else that I can look at right here. But yeah, hopefully you guys understood what I mentioned by this. This is why I only trade from 6:30 to 8. And that's why I find that to be the best time to trade. So let me scroll down a little further and see if I'm missing anything else. Hanan's asking, what do you see on CNBC? I mean, there's nothing on there right now. There's no news right now. It's just everything is all red. The Dow is down 17 points. S&P is down 3 points. Nasdaq's down 47 points. Russell 2K is down 12 points. Looks like the whole indices market is red right now, but I mean that can easily shift. Other than that, there's not really much news. The last news event was at 4 o'clock. I mean 4 hours ago. Sorry, yeah, it was about 4 hours ago, which is about 3 o'clock. It was like some BlackRock news responding to George Soros. Other than that, I don't really see anything else here. There's nothing else here. I mean, Microsoft has this right here, but this stuff isn't going to affect our US 30 very much. So there really isn't much on CNBC right now. Looking at the market sentiment, it's still right down the middle. It's at 51% short. So you can see it's going back from 51% short to 51% long. Looking over here at the actual average for today, the Dow is only down 24 points. Looking at the actual stock index, there just isn't a direction set. This is why it gets dangerous taking a trade, because price can easily go one way or the other. You generally want to trade where you know where price is going. You don't want to take like random trades and hope to get lucky. You want to use skill and you want to actually use analysis to determine, which direction you plan on trading. So let me see if there's anything else right here that I'm missing. Roosevelt's asking, okay, no, I already answered your question, Roosevelt, so you're good on that. Shahed's asking, how do you deal with spreads? I mean, spread's not that wide for US 30. It's a highly volatile asset, Shahed. So spread's not a problem. I'm not sure what you mean by how do you deal with the spreads, but the spread isn't that bad for US 30. It's probably for your broker, the spreads are wide, but generally spreads for US 30 are not that wide because it's a volatile asset. If the asset is volatile, spreads are usually tight. If the asset is very slow, like Bitcoin, that's why the spreads for those are like really wide, because it doesn't move as fast. For US 30, there's a lot of liquidity there. There's people trading up and down all the time. So that's why the spread here is not that wide. It's only off by like 40 pips or 4 points, depending on what you're following. It's the general norm is about 10 to 40 pips. That's the norm for the spread. So like, for example, here, if I was to take a trade here for a sell, like our buy over here was 100 pips, right? It's 11 points right here is equivalent to 110 pips. So if the spread is like 30 pips, it's not really going to make a difference. You can still take the trade and make some pretty nice profit off it. That's how, pretty much everyone else here locked in, these profits here. Dell locked in 645. Nice work, Dell. Other than that, let's see. Yeah, Andy over here, he took a loss off the sell right there, but he made it right back right there. So he's only like, he's minimized his losses right there. Same with Paul over here. Paul took a small loss right there, but he also made it right back. So he's up 431 for the day. And Lester, straight wins right here. So Lester is asking, let me check Lester's question. So Lester's asking, what times are pre-orders UK open? UK market opens AM Pacific time. What would be the best time to trade? We trade US 30 on. All right, cool. Yeah, so Jalan over here, he's been trading. He has this, he's been trying to take some trades, but he put the stop loss at break even. So he keeps getting like kicked out of the trade. But he's still in profit about $100 for the day. So that's fine as is, Jalan, but like we've been looking at, market has just been kind of slow today. So it's it's not really a good time to trade. So let me see if there's any other questions. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'll be logging off for the day. It's 7:30 right now, but since I'm not going to trade, I'm probably just going to close it out early and just, bounce back tomorrow, so I don't hop into anything that's too risky. So if you guys have questions, put your questions in the chat, and then I can answer all of your questions before I log off for the session. Let me see if there's anything else down here. Damn John is asking, what are the strategies you use in the summer called in the course? You have to pay for the course, John, so you probably don't have those strategies on there. But you just watch all the live session. So John, if you want to look at everything that we apply in the summer, just go on the YouTube channel. So let me just pull it up for you. So just go on the K² Trades YouTube channel, go to videos, and then watch all the live sessions, because I've been applying the same strategies every day. The strategies that we've been applying during the summer, because market's been moving slower, is the scalp strategies. The scalp strategies we use are the K2 US 30 1-minute pivot scalp strategy. This is the one we applied today. That's where we made that profit right here. Same with this is a 3-minute. It's the same thing, just done on a different time frame. And then lastly here, the 10-minute Snipe strategy. So instead of using that daily entry, because price is moving a lot slower, we use the Snipe strategy instead, which would be this one right here. So I don't know if that's available in the free course, because you would need the indicators to apply these. So you wouldn't even be able to apply yourself if you wanted to. But if you want to see how they're applied, just go and watch every live session for like the past, what are we? We're in September, the past 9 months. So just go back and watch whatever live session that you want to see from the past. Because I trade live every morning, John. So if you want to go back and watch everything, you can see I apply the same strategies every morning. So if you want to do that, you can go back and watch those. But I don't think they have it available in the free course, because it's not going to be available for you to use. But if you're in the group, John, so if you're in the group, just message me and I can send them to you because we do post them here in the group. So if you're in the alerts group, it's been posted in here. Otherwise, you would have to like have access to the actual course to have access to it. So I think that's it for today, guys. Yeah, Van Howard, I'll see you tomorrow too. I'm not going to take any trades, so there's no point in me staying online. So if you guys do have questions, go ahead and email me or message me on Telegram. Otherwise, I'll be back tomorrow for the next live session, and we'll bounce right back. You know, today's the first loss that I had in like months, like a first real loss that I've had in months. So it's not a big deal. You know, I've been stacking profits every single day for the whole year so far. So it's been a great year overall. This today was just, you know, something that we couldn't have anticipated. So other than that, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And if you guys have questions, go ahead and reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys for the next live session while we make